The question brought before the text this day is this: YHWH, give us the latest news on the war in the Middle East, anciently in the lands of Persia, Elam, Edom for this day today. The first word that rises to meet that question is from Mark chapter 9 verse 3. His garments became shining, exceeding white as snow, so as no fuller on earth can whiten them. This is not a battlefield dispatch. It is the shining of the sun beyond every earthly effort to purify. The light that no fuller can match sets the measure for everything else that follows. Recognition that the ark has entered the camp is reverence, never a tool for direction. The camp that knew the ark was present still fell that day. Direction belongs to the text itself and to the pattern that has been confirmed across it. What the words actually speak is a war that runs deeper than borders and troop counts. The dragon is angered against the woman and departs to make war with the rest of her seed, who keep the commandments of Elohim and hold the witness of Joshua. That is the testimony of Revelation chapter 12 verse 17. The visible pressures that press upon those ancient lands stand as the outer edge of this conflict. The seed that remains faithful becomes the target. Yet the same text that names the war also names the light that cannot be dimmed by it. The call that sounds is present and urgent. Turn now from your bad ways and from your unkind practices. But they did not hear or listen to me, says YHWH. That word from Zechariah chapter 1 verse 4 places the summons in the appointed moment we occupy. The day of YHWH comes, for it is close at hand. Blow the ram's horn in Zion and sound an alarm in the consecrated mountain. That is the testimony of Joel chapter 2 verse 1. The nearness is not abstract. It presses upon the present hour. The name of YHWH comes from far, burning with anger, the burden heavy, the lips full of indignation, the tongue as a devouring fire. That is the word of Isaiah chapter 30 verse 27. Judgment is not chaotic. It is deliberate. The same voice that comes in fire is the voice that still offers return. The land can be greatly profaned, yet the summons remains. You will be my people, and I will be your Elohim. The covenant pledge is not broken. The faithful Elohim keeps covenant mercy with those who love him and guard his commandments to 1,000 generations. The inheritance itself is settled by YHWH, not by the strength of any army. YHWH will inherit by covenant Judah his portion in the Holy Land and will choose Jerusalem again. That is the word of Zechariah chapter 2 verse 12. The house of Israel is gathered to serve, not merely to possess. The priesthood is not to be defiled. The holy name is not to be desecrated. One law stands for the native and for the foreigner who lives among the people. The body of those who belong to him is called the temple of the sacred spirit. Levi has no separate portion in the land because YHWH himself is the inheritance. The pattern that runs through these words is not random. The data shows a statistically confirmed non-random pattern across multiple independent channels. The convergence of identity, inheritance, and priesthood rises far above the baseline of the corpus, reaching more than 7 sigma. The convergence across all channels stands at 88%. The global anomaly measure is extreme. 5 of the markers under test survive false discovery correction. The pattern is robust to permutation controls. The mathematical reading returns a lean yes, with the probability of the affirmative polarity at 96.6%. This is a strong anomaly. All gates pass. These numbers confirm the polarity of the text. They do not replace the text, and they do not certify any external claim beyond what the drawn words themselves declare. The news that rises for this day is therefore not a report of human strategies or shifting front lines. It is the shining of garments that no fuller on earth can match. It is the war the dragon wages against the seed that keeps the commandments. It is the day that is close at hand. It is the name that comes from far with burning anger. It is the still open call to turn. It is the covenant inheritance that YHWH himself holds and will not surrender. The conflict is real. The light is already shining. The pledge remains unbroken. The return is still required so that the priesthood may stand in integrity and the people may be known as his own. One tension remains inside the affirmative word. The same text that announces the nearness of the day and the shining of the sun also records that the people once stumbled at noonday, as in the night, and that the land can still be profaned by many lovers. The shining and the war are simultaneous. The light does not wait for the conflict to end before it appears. The call to return does not wait for perfect conditions. The inheritance is secure even while the dragon makes war. So the answer that the text gives to the question is lean yes. The polarity is affirmative. The news for this day concerning the war in those ancient lands is the shining of the sun, the war against the faithful seed, the nearness of the day of YHWH, the burning of the name, and the unbreakable covenant pledge that still summons the people to turn and to stand as his own. The garments remain exceeding white. No fuller on earth can alter that measure. The verses drawn in this altar of reception session were Mark chapter 9, verse 3, Romans chapter 1, verse 1 to 3, Zechariah chapter 1, verse 4, Malachi chapter 1, verse 8, Isaiah chapter 59, verse 10, Revelation chapter 12, verse 17. This concludes today's interpretation at the altar of reception.